Peace to the tribunals. Peace to the tribunals. It's your boy Hood Mystic, representing www.hoodmystic.com, learnsidereal.com, colombianexchange.com, and of course, your favorite microdose supplier, White Rabbit Psychedelic. I'm doing this video in a late night. Did an article, so be sure to visit the link in my description to read the article if you don't want to hear me talk. But it's kind of the same thing. It's kind of different. The video will be slightly different from the article, but I would imply and hope that y'all would take some time to read the article, take notes. I've been kind of slacking in my macking, slipping in my pimping in reference to these full moons. Like I'll probably do it the day of or a couple of days before, but I want to get this one done the week of so y'all can fully prepare and fully understand what's going on, because a full moon is always going to take the effects of the full moon, rather, are always going to take place 3 days before and 3 days after. And the reason why is because the full moon affects our melatonin. The full moon affects our pineal gland. So during this week, it's going to be harder to sleep. And you might think that is something going on with you. But really, if you think about it from an ancestral point of view, and it still affects us, like the house is not going to stop the moonlight, right? It's going to still feel the energy and the vibrations that the moon is sending off. But the moon, because the sun is shining directly on the moon, and that energy is shining down on the earth. So during this week, going to be a little bit harder to sleep. So if you read the article, got a couple links on there to some blindfolds, some earplugs. These are all tools that I use to sleep intentionally. Sometimes you can go to sleep and you just close your eyes and then just like you go to sleep and you just wake up and you back into it. But if you can slow your mind down, slow your consciousness down, stop being so fixated on what's happening in the waking life and really open your mind to what's happening in the dream world, you can get a large percentage of what you need to do during the waking life if you can just slow down your mind. If you don't slow down your mind, you tend to be hyperactive towards what you think is important in this realm, like the waking world. And so you bring your waking world problems and issues into the dream world. And because of that, uh, all of the solutions that you could find in the dream world, you just 9 times out of 10 exacerbate your waking problems, because you can go to sleep and find a solution, like help me find a solution to this problem, dream world. Or you can go to sleep worried and unsure of the process and just create more problems for yourself. So I say all of that to say, sleep intentionally, sleep with a purpose. Understand that there are solutions in your sleep. You'll find solutions in your sleep. You'll find ways out of no way in your sleep, but it's more in kind of surrendering to the process of the dream world, and also surrendering to the process of awakening your consciousness. The main ways that you awaken your consciousness is in the dream world. Hard to awaken your consciousness in the waking world because there's so much going on. We have habitual ways of dealing with life, but when you're asleep, the ego is like long gone. So you can really get to work. So, think about it, especially during full moons, especially during new moons. Being intentional, doing rituals before you go to sleep, meditating before you go to sleep is super important. And on this channel, I talk a lot about the moon because I'm talking a lot about nighttime. I'm talking a lot about sleep. I'm talking a lot about dream yoga and manifestation using sleeping. Because the ways that you can go to sleep on a certain timeline and wake up in a whole nother timeline. There have been many times that you've waken up to like weird ass shit like, did you hear about that story with such and such? And you just be like waking up. That's probably a sign that you woken up into a new timeline. So the full moon takes place this Thursday night going into Friday, August 11th. You're going to feel the effects of the full moon 3 days before and 3 days after. Full moons are times of revealing. It's not a time for rituals. People are going to do whatever they want to do, but doing a full moon ritual don't make no sense, especially if you haven't done a new moon ritual. Set your intentions ritualistically, opened your mind up in the space of being in a trance state, being intentional, and really working towards something that you really and truly want. Hopefully, you have an idea of what you wanted 2 weeks ago, where your mindset was 2 weeks ago. Coming into the full moon, you will reap that. So I tell people this all the time. If you DM me, if you become my friend, this is one of the things that I really hold true. If you don't set intentions for yourself, it don't matter. Somebody else will. But when they do set those intentions for you, you will not like it, not one bit. So it's very important to be responsible magically. It's very important to be responsible esoterically, because then you'll be looking at niggas on the internet to be your salvation, to save you. And the reality is that just because I uploaded a video online don't mean that I was sent from the heavens to save you. Okay, so during full moons, our melatonin will and can dip, mainly like I said, because the sky is brighter at night, and it's going to be harder to fall asleep this week. So sleep intentionally, get you some blindfolds, get you some earplugs, cut the TV off, try to figure out, open up some windows. Back in the days we used to have the fans running, do something to get you into like a meditative relaxation type trance before you go to sleep, because this is also going to bring you into alignment, help you wake up into the proper timeline. A lot of your spiritual work is going to be reduced significantly if you could just simply wake up in the proper timeline, the timeline that best suits you. We are in a multiverse. So in the multiverse, you all hear about some crazy stories, like the lady who ran the intersection, killed 6 people when she was trying to kill herself, right? That's because in that timeline, it's kind of like karma, right? Where you think you're going to get away with something, life is going to have a weird way of working itself out. But it don't have to be negative, okay? You can learn how to seduce destiny. You can learn how to manifest destiny. And it's simple. As easy as we put in our GPS coordinates would be the easiest way that we can manifest our lives. So the title of this full moon is Seducing Destiny, right? And it's really tapping into the creative sexual nature of the universe, which have been taken away from us by fundamentalism, Western Eurocentrism, taking away our tribal cultures. So now when you see a black woman in her natural skin, you tell her to put something over it, cover it. We can't even have conversations with our black women because we're so sexually charged, and we can't blame them. That's how God made them, right? We got to look at ourselves and look at our lusts. So instead of seducing black women, instead of seducing black men, I'm going to seduce my destiny moving forward, okay? And this was the message that I was given, and I'm going to show y'all in this video why I was given that message and what does this message actually mean. So in seducing destiny, the first word that we're looking at is, of course, destiny. I'm sorry, seducing. Where does that come from? Seduction comes from, of course, getting a woman, right, to have sex with you. But now, y'all know my mind don't be in the gutter, at least all the time. It's not in the gutter. Seduction in this context is more in reference to the universe or the earth. Seduction is more of a calling to the world to come into you, to love it back, and to have an intimate relationship with the universe. And so this is more of a imaginative process that you can find in boy-girl relationships. But we're not talking about boy-girl relationships, because if you seduce one of these niggas, all you ever gonna get is a baby and a child support payment. So we not trying to get, child support payments or nothing like that and, bring more kids into the world, but we do want to manifest peace. We do want to manifest prosperity. We do want to manifest love. So because of this, we can figure out how to engage and deal with the universe from a magical perspective. And for me, this is the way to go, right? And when you do this, how it will show up is patronage, prosperity, and support from random people, or people that you already know, or, people that you never met before. But when you've done the input work of patronage, prosperity, of support, then that's the input. The output is just how people are going to show up, whether it's a corporation, whether it's a business, whether it's a family member, whether it's a social worker. People will show up for you with the assistance. But the main part of seduction is that you got to seduce. Meaning that you have to be an active co-creator, participant in the manifestation of your life. You got to know, one, that you are in the process of manifesting. So if I'm walking to the store, I don't never stop and say, boy, I need to do a ritual. I need to pray. I'm worried. I don't know if I'm gonna make it to the store. Why? What's going on? Oh, nothing. I mean, I feel great and normal. I just got this fear about the store. No, you just keep walking until you get there. You get your flaming hot bag of chips and you walk back home. The same way you should be in reference to the things that you are manifesting. 10 times out of 10, because we dealing with a full moon, if you're not emotionally able to handle that which you want, then you have anxiety and fear around it. If you're not supposed to be doing something, then you have anxiety and fear about it. And it's mainly relationships. Nobody was taught how to have successful relationships, and even deeper, how to have successful relationships with your specific partner. That's a whole, textbook that you got to study, do tests, quizzes, worksheets on, but you just want to be halfway decent and do spells and stuff like that. You don't want to be a co-creative participant in the universe more than you want shit to just happen to you. And not just happen to you randomly, but only good things should happen to you. But then when I say, do you co-create with the universe, you don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about, because in reference to spirituality, everything rests in the goddess, everything rests in the creation, and it don't have nothing to do with vagina or yoni. It's like it's a macrocosm. When we talk about divine feminine energy, we not talking about y'all bitches that be motherfucking talking shit to niggas online, or, if I say, hey, how you doing? Get the fuck out of my face, nigga. That's not divine feminine energy. That's a regular girl that's going to talk shit. Divine feminine energy not going to give me $20 if I'm $15 short on my rent. That's when I got to call on the universe. It's a macrocosm. It's related to the yoni and the womb, but we should know that ain't nobody about to do shit for you for real. So we can get an understanding of how the energy works, but we need not relate it to human beings, because human beings is going to do whatever the fuck they want to do. But when you start to look at sex between animals, sex between humans, now you want to get into a spiritual modality, use the same thought process as sex that would boys and girls use. Like a boy will have sex with a girl and create a baby. You can have sex with the universe and create your idea and manifestation. So this is what we're talking about in the realms of seduction. Now, this is not something that I'm making up when we're talking about seduction and we're talking about sexual energy. This is actually Sanskrit. Don't get me to pronouncing shit, but I'll try. Hiranyagarbha is Sanskrit, literally the golden womb or the golden egg. It's not saying that a woman is walking around here with a golden womb. It's not saying here that a dude is walking around here with a golden phallus. We're talking about spiritual modalities that sex is an allegory or an allusion to. Not an illusion, but an illusion, meaning that these two things are connected. And if you can understand how to have sex, you can also understand how to manifest. But sometimes people are not honest and authentic about their sexual life and their sexual truth. People want to show up as virginal, as pure, but they're not that. And then, not to say like it's something wrong with being a do dirty hoe, but what's the conversation? What do that sound like to my ears? What's the knowledge that you gain from, getting buck wild, having sex with a bunch of girls, having sex with a bunch of dudes? What did you gain from that? Right? So we're not talking about regular actual sex. We're using that as an analogy and a metaphor to help us become more spiritual ones, if that makes sense, because that's not something that most people talk about. Most people talk about spirituality as a, get out of jail free card. There's no technique, there's no skill to it. It's just, hey, if y'all don't want to actually do the work, then ain't shit that I can do for y'all. I ain't about to get on here and say everything is perfect and everything is good, because most of y'all wouldn't understand a simple concept or analogy or an allegory in reference to the biological chemical processes that human beings go to. And then study mythology as just an analogy to our chemical processes. So I'm saying that the reason that the Buddhist monk is on a mountain cliff, meditating, is because he realizes that everything that you manifest can't be nothing but bullshit. And the most hottest, most rawest, tightest shit in the world is yourself. The illest shit in the world is your peace of mind. And the nigga will be like, well, what if you got like 15 diamond chains and you was meditating and you had a couple bitches twerking to a Gucci Mane song while you was meditating? I bet you that should be extra lit. But you did, like, when you have a space of wisdom and a peace of mind, and then you see how young people give it up and how people live, you also understand that these people don't even realize that they fucking themselves up. Even more so, motherfuckers get older and try to double down on the bullshit, try to recapture their 20s, have midlife crisis and shit. When you have a midlife crisis, that means you haven't even learned none of the lessons. You just been actually feeling like shit haven't been happening the way it's supposed to be happening. So I'm not going to pronounce this word. I'm going to just say the divine yoni, the universal pussy, not your baby mama's pussy, not a girl that you might like pussy. We not talking about that, because y'all will fucking interpolate the reality of humanity into spirituality, when spirituality might not ever never give a fuck about humanity. That's why we never get any type real life visions and realizations, because we more concerned with the human physical side of things. But then when you look at the electromagnetic spectrum that says 99.6 of all visible light is invisible, so that means that everything that we possibly could see, we only see 0.4% of it. 0.4% of the visible reality, human beings only have a capability of seeing 0.4. So we're literally blind, like literally blind, 100% blind when it comes to the visible world, but we want to act like we know. Okay, so it takes a level of releasing and letting go to get into a space of spirituality. And then get into the basics being sex. None of us would be here if it wasn't for sex. I'm guaranteeing that none of you niggas was test tube babies. None of you was in vitro. None of y'all was goddamn surrogates or no shit like that. Y'all came in this world from some good old fashioned up and down sex. So when you want to learn how to master life, guess where you learn it from? Sex. When you get online and you get on the internet and people start talking to you about stuff, what are they talking about? One's in the chat if people talk about everything in the world under the sun but sex. One's in the chat. One's in the chat if you only interested, if you get down to it, on having the best sex that you possibly could have. When it boils down to it, if you have all the money in the world, but you ain't getting no sex, you're not going to be happy. But if you live in a modest life, getting the sex that take you to the next level, you might look at the world in a completely different way. But I'm saying that sex is on all levels of manifest. The idea of sex, your sexual energy, your ability to seduce a man would be the same way to seduce a reality. Seduce a woman would be the same way to seduce. The healers have sexual energy. The successful people have sexual energy. They're sexually desirable. Wouldn't y'all want to learn about that in reference to being attractive? We'd be like, law of attraction is to be attractive, right? But we want to do spells. Wait, do you actually think that some spiritual shit is going to help your life out better than having a consistent workout? Are you serious right now? You mean to tell me listening to spiritual mumbo jumbo is going to help you out than just going to fucking Planet Fitness 4 to 5 times a week? But y'all niggas know all the spiritual shit, but y'all don't got no fucking gym membership. It don't make sense to me how that shit's going to work. The divine yoni is the source of all that is manifest and manifest, said to be the God of the gods, that which connects all things, creates all things, and where all things return. Do y'all hear that? Because I would love to have a simple ass conversation with y'all in reference to manifest and unmanifest and connected to all things. The only thing that fits that criteria is sex. In 1700, niggas did not have cell phones. They didn't have TVs. They didn't have goddamn cars. But what did they have? What did they have in the 1700s, 1500s, 356 AD, 5028 BC, in Ethiopia, in Australia, in Africa, in Ireland, in America, North America? What did all of these places have in common? Throughout time immemorial, if shit is fucked up, if we in a recession, if it's a war, what do all of these civilizations have in common? What does all history have in common? But then what is niggas not ever even wanting to really talk about? Since the beginning of time, niggas been having straight up and down sex. Period. And as much as y'all want to talk to motherfucker about, you know, this, that, and the third, I'm telling y'all not going to never hit on nothing until y'all figure out y'all sexual quotient. You are a god because you can create. But how do you create? Do you create by listening to niggas talk shit? Do you create from liking a video, subscribing to a channel, hitting the notification bell? Is that creation? Or do you create when you pull your damn pants down? See, this is an area of life that, you know, the niggas will get kind of like, you know, I'm kind of uncomfortable, you know. I mean, I just want to talk about spiritual stuff. Well, pull your pants down. Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk. Oh, hood, you spiritual. You shouldn't be on that. I'm not even talking about sex with me. I'm saying sex in general. How comfortable are you with it? Is we going to talk about spirituality and manifesting and peace of mind. The thing about peace of mind and meditating, you ain't going to be able to do that if you're not satisfied sexually, because the moment you try to get a peace of mind, the moment you try to get a little second or two, the truth is going to come to the surface. Damn, I'm horny. Y'all ever tried to get y'all mind right and thought, well, fuck, I'm horny. What should I do now? And y'all go from meditating to Pornhub. Am I the only person that ever done that? Because I'm being a little bit too vulnerable right now. Being a little bit too authentic, a little bit too real. And I know y'all not used to that. Y'all used to a nigga telling you that everything is going to be okay as long as you show up. But some of y'all smoke crack, and I can't vouch for that. The divine yoni gives life to the form and the formless. So sexually active people have children. You don't have to have a physical child to have a children, because there are physical entities and there are invisible entities. And in life, you can create a thing like a house, or you can create a disposition. The coldest thing that I ever been gifted from source is a disposition to seek out the truth of life. A disposition. That's not an actual thing that I have. I have a calling. I have a fire. I have a charge. I have a fire or a laser point accuracy to find out the fucking truth. That's what spirit have given me. They ain't gave me shit else. And I'm cool with that. They don't gotta give me nothing else. They are giving me like, y'all don't understand how profound that is, because I was a nigga that didn't know shit from shit. I would wake up and not know a damn thing. Spirit is benevolent like that. Spirit is amazing like that. It can pick you up in the space of just pure, utter ignorance and enlighten you. The problem with enlightenment is that you never know that you missing out on enlightenment, because you just going through life like everything is cool. The divine yoni is beyond definition, and technically the divine yoni is only a part of the whole. This can only be truly understood by connection with the source of creation. I'm going to get into a lot of conversations this evening, but the main conversation is centered on people trying to be great in one area and not great in all areas. That's going to be hard for you to do. If you're a spiritual person, it's going to be hard for you to be great at one thing. And I know you trying to get your money together. I know you trying to get your relationship together. But the reality is you got to get your money and your relationship together. You got to get your money, relationship, and spiritual shit together. You got to know what do you enjoy? You know, it's a lot of grown ass people. If you ask them, what do you do to make yourself happy? They don't do shit. I'm talking about fun. Just do, like, what you doing? What you doing? I'm just going to fish. A lot of niggas don't even fish. A lot of niggas don't even take walks. They only doing shit that for the money, for the bag. They only doing stuff for their family. So, like I said, I'm gonna get into a lot of stuff, but sex is a very important part to your spiritual development. But a lot of people get hung up on sex. Like, they literally get hung up on it because let's use our minds real quick. And I want to know if y'all understand what I'm talking about when I'm talking about it. You ever been like talking to somebody on the phone or whatever, and like they like you, like they fucking with you, they into you. It's a certain power you have over them sexually. Y'all might not have a person have power over you sexually where you know you shouldn't be fucking them, but when they come around you, you get weak in the knees. You get everything that you know that is wrong, you do it anyway. You listen, everybody have been in a situation where they knew they shouldn't been having sex, but they did it anyway. What do I mean you know that is wrong, but you did it anyway? Meaning that sex will hang you up because you know, like, it's a feeling when you having sex. It's like, this is wrong, but it feels so good, and you know it's wrong because afterwards y'all don't say nothing to each other. Y'all lose each other's number. How many times, one's in the chat, if y'all have a great connection, the conversation is what you want it to be, and it's just a beautiful thing. You done met your soulmate, y'all got so many things in common, and then y'all fuck. One's in the chat. If you know what I'm talking about when I say then y'all fuck. Cause those butterflies and fireworks that y'all was experiencing, that shit is gone. That connection and soulmate, that shit gone. And we gonna talk every single day. I can talk to you all day. You ain't talked to that motherfucker since y'all done had sex. Sex is y'all biggest hang up in the spiritual community. And the reason that is the biggest hang up in the spiritual community, cause niggas is too horny to stand up. Cause they know, listen, you gotta be a strong motherfucker to turn down some pussy. You gotta be ridiculously strong to say, you know what, sis, that good ass pussy that you throwing to me, I don't want it. Cause I don't need it and I ain't supposed to have it. Different levels. Different levels. I remember being a person that was apprehensive to setting goals because I never knew if I was going to actually manifest that goal. And I know the type of person that I am now. I don't feel like I can't do nothing. Like, I feel like if I set a goal and I want that thing to manifest, I truly, truly believe I'll manifest it. And I'm so crazy now about it that I will fucking cut anybody off who don't have the same belief that I have. It's cause I know. You know, cause I fucking know what's for me. No man can get in between. So if a person have doubts and insecurities and not really sure and don't want to put in the necessary work or trying to hit me with some rigmarole or being lazy or not showing up to tasks, I'm not even mad. I know it's a destiny. And destiny is as simple to me as putting in a GPS and saying, I want to go here. That's what it is to me. I want to manifest this. I want to do that. Like anything. And a lot of times, man, people will be confused at why you want what you want. Because if you never had money, you'll want money. But you don't understand that your desire for money come from your lack. But your lack is not based upon the world being against you. Your lack is 100% based on you not having financial literacy, not having financial knowledge on how finances work. So it ain't no spell that's going to help you. How many times have you got money and blew that shit and been at ground zero? So you know if you get $1 million, you gonna blow it. If you get 10,000, you gonna blow it. Don't fool yourself, cause you fool yourself by wanting money. You real about this shit if you serious about growing the money that you get. Starting a business is only one level of the money game. Getting money is only one level of the money game. Managing money is if you say I'm gonna be rich, your whole life is gonna be managing money to maintain your level of richness. Unless you can get about $3.4 million, put $3.4 million in a good enough bank. You gotta find the bank, gotta find the wealth fund that's not gonna rob you and live off the interest. If y'all doing it like that, man, let a nigga know how I can be a part of it. You feel me? But if you ain't doing it like that, you gonna have to learn. Most people, it's billions and millions of people in the world. Most people don't become rich. And the people that do become rich, they became rich outside of their family, outside of their fun, outside of their faith, outside of their fitness. So they got the money, but they don't have nothing else. And if you've been a person that's always been broke, you don't even know what that's like to not have your family, to not have fun, to not have fitness, to not have faith, to not have a connection to source. Money ain't a spiritual thing. Not in the ways that we think it is. It's a magical tool. It ain't a spiritual tool. Spiritual is taken from the word animus. Spiritual is like, I'm spiritual because I got life. A bug is spiritual because it got life. That's spirit. Magic, on the other hand, is taking the material world and fashioning it to how you want it to be. When you learn how to get into the flow of prosperity, many people have done that. Many people get in the flow, don't recognize they are in the flow, and get off the flow because they don't know how to be grateful for what's coming in and what's going out. People get money, want more money. People get money, have to pay their bills, behind on bills, have to pay credit. What I'm saying is life can completely throw you off track. And when we talk about our destiny, we're talking about being able to fucking get there. And if you are held up by all of this humanity shit, How are you going to program your GPS, your God positioning system? That which has been firmly established, your firmware, your natural disposition is to be in your destiny. Now imagine not being able to be in your truth, to be free, to speak it, to live it, or not even know how. Because nobody is telling you to fucking go to sleep and seduce the world and co-create with the world. Everybody is telling you some shit that's nothing to do with seduction. So we have seduction over here, our law of attraction, our attractive quotient, our ability to take care of ourselves, to show up, or astrology is like this. It's a light side and a dark side. You cannot give a fuck about yourself. You can be in the dark side with this shit. That's why I give a disclaimer. If you ain't willing to do the work, none of the shit that I'm saying is for you. And it's real important to me because I had to learn the hard way. Motherfuckers would try to be my friend before they'd do the work. And I thought that my friends would do the work, but that's not the way. Life didn't show me that. Life showed me that people get close to me, people deal with me, and then act like they have done the work. And it's like, that ain't the work, being my friend. So seducing destiny. Homeboy got a text message from Shaniqua, got her address. He went to that address. He in the middle of the forest. Shaniqua texts back like, damn, that's crazy. I thought I sent you the right address. Seduction is the enticement of a person to sexual intercourse or something that attracts. Destiny is from the Latin word destinare, meaning to establish a destination or the tendency to create certain events in your life. When we seduce destiny, we actively attract specific circumstances we want to experience. Seduction is an enjoyable experience because it feels like we are close to what we truly want. It feels like we're close to what we truly want. So seduction is like being on the journey. It's not the destination, it's the journey. To seduce is to keep a man or a woman intrigued in a space where they are interested and gravitating towards you, but they are not getting the goods. Because once you have sex, we've already discussed, right? If you was to reach your destiny, you wouldn't need to seduce it. You would have done fucked it. And once you fuck it, the friendship is over. The relationship is over. Why is it? Y'all explain this to me. Because I'm one number 2 pencil away from taking the yellow short bus to school. Why is it that everybody talk about one night stands and having casual sex, but nobody talks about how those situations created long-term relationships? Why is it that casual sex and sneaky links and one-time affairs only lead to you having sex for a short amount of time and then moving on to fuck somebody else? Meaning that if having a one-night stand or having a sneaky link was such a powerful and good thing, then why don't these things lead to relationships? Why don't these things lead to, wonderful marriages and wonderful partnerships? Why is it that you fuck somebody and you never want to see them again? Because the seduction is over. Once the seduction is over, the whole shit is over. Do y'all understand that? One's in the chat if that makes sense. Once the seduction is over, the whole shit is over. And you lucky if you can have sex with somebody and keep the seduction going. But but it's so much work that goes into having sex with somebody in a righteous way that this society does not promote men or women healing first and then having sex. I never heard of that. We went through an intense healing ritual, and we talked about all of our traumas and all of our pains and cleared all of our karma, and then we fucked. I never heard of that. Have y'all heard of that before? Or is it just y'all going for what y'all know and y'all doing whatever the fuck y'all want to do and then want to get on Al Gore's internet and search for solutions when the solution is right in your fucking crotch? The crotch part of your fucking drawers. That's where the solution is at. How do you manage that shit? When we think about creation, when we think about manifestation, it's all sex. It's all masculine and feminine energy at the proper proportions, at the right time. Ovulation, sperm, and then it's millions of sperm, only one sperm get through. Everything is magical. It's like, so how does sex and manifestation relate? Well, you might have to pray for some shit 1,000,000 times just for it to happen once. Y'all ever had a miraculous thing, a once in a lifetime experience? Imagine some shit that happened where you just walk outside at the right time, get in your car at the right time, hit the red lights that you're supposed to, the green lights that you're supposed to. You don't get into a wreck, and you just show up at an event or at a record store, at a fucking mall, and you see a motherfucker at that right time. It's like, hey, what you doing here? What you doing here? Man, it's so crazy I ran into you. We all have experienced that. We've all been there before. And this is all of us knowing that magic is possible for all of us. It's all about alignment. It's all about sex. It's all about creation. It's all about shooting your load off enough times. You know, if you have sex with your wife enough times, you'll get her pregnant. Or you could have a sneaky link and get pregnant by your fucking sneaky link, your one night stand. It's weird like that. Creation and sex are the same. You go and get what you want if you persistent enough. If you consistent enough. Because you gonna shoot your load off, 1,000,000 sperms gonna come, but maybe the universe ain't ovulating that day. Don't give up. You gonna shoot it off one day, and one day your sperm, your intellectual sperm, is going to impregnate the universal cosmos, and you get a Joe Rogan fucking podcast. You Kendra G. You fucking Kevin Samuels. You goddamn Lapeef, let's talk. You fucking hit it. You hit it at the right time. You got that right idea, and now all you gotta do is maintain the relationship. Some of y'all been already gifted to some shit, but y'all didn't maintain it or balance. Y'all just gave it up because y'all figured, like, I just want it. Hey, if you get money, you're gonna have to manage it, right? If you get a relationship, you gonna manage it, right? If you get a body, you gotta manage it, right? If you get a bank account, you gotta manage it. So what's the point of wanting some shit that you ain't mentally and emotionally prepared to manage? Because the moment that your boyfriend do something wrong, now you 12. You fucking a 12-year-older. And you acting like a little baby. Not the rapper either. But you wanted a relationship. You wanted this so bad. But then the time it gave you troubles, you like, get the fuck out. I don't want this no more. So you might need to pray for help in trying to manage what you already have. All right? But keep stroking though. Keep stroking, right? It's hard being me, y'all. It's real hard being me. I'm gonna tell y'all that right now. It's not easy being me. It's not easy being married. It's not easy doing this shit. Doing videos. Nothing in my life come easy. It's not easy being a damn dad. It's not easy driving a car. Like I can't even see how, like it's not easy. Like for me, life is difficult because I look at life and I look at y'all like, damn, if these people only know how beautiful and talented they are, they wouldn't waste time and they wouldn't beat themselves up. Man, I went to my mom's house this weekend in Boston, and she always have these pictures up of me when I was younger. I looked at them this weekend when I went there. I looked at them and I saw myself. I seen the younger version of me that did not see himself at all, man. I got, my mom only pictures of me when I was a young man is fucking jail photos and prison photos, I was in jail as a young man. I didn't never even know myself, yo. I didn't know how handsome I was. I didn't know how young I was. I didn't know how strong I was. I didn't know shit about myself. I was just waking up. Just eating, sleeping, shitting, showering. I didn't have no consciousness whatsoever. When I mean consciousness, I mean consciousness of myself. The beautiful person that I was as a young man. And it was hurtful because I know I'll never get them days back again. And I regret that. I really wish I did have a time machine just to go back in time and just tell myself to just look at yourself. Just look at yourself and be yourself and you okay. You'll be just fine. But I thought that it was somebody else in the world that I needed to be other than me. So I was always looking with these two eyes outwardly and never, when I would look at myself, I would feel like a pain or I like turn away. I'm saying all of that to say that I do this and then I sometimes get discouraged because every time I turn around, I see, like, let me just say this. I'm just not a mean-spirited, mad person. I'm this what if I come across that way, it's because it's real life spiritual shit that take place that y'all don't actually know about. Like, it's a lot of people that used to be my friends. It's a lot of people that I helped out. And those people wasn't like good people. Those people was using me specifically not because they was bad people. They wasn't good people. But the reason that it manifested the way that it manifested, it showed itself to me this weekend when I was at my mom's house. I've never taken the time to look at myself and to see myself. I just been rolling through life like a goddamn boulder through life with no purpose and no focus. The purpose being me, the focus being me. I be looking at other shit to focus in on, and I be so confused at the thing that I need to do. I be sitting back like, damn, what do I gotta do? Like what do I gotta actually do? And it dawned on me, I gotta do me. I got real life limits that I put on myself because of this spiritual shit. So the point of this is I sometimes get discouraged at the people that have stolen from me, have taken from me, that have, wished bad on me, and not in no egotistical, subjective way, just real life shit. I'm a fighter. Don't cry for me, Argentina. I'm not feeling bad. I'm just showing y'all that If you do not value yourself, you will attract people that will fuck you up. Do y'all understand that? One's in the chat if y'all understand that. And you can't be mad at the people who were sent to fuck you up, because they were sent to fuck you up so you could wake up to the beauty of you. At least that's what I was taught. That's what I was shown. You are beautiful. You've been beautiful. You never treated yourself like you was beautiful. You never carried yourself like you was beautiful. You didn't even see yourself as beautiful when you were. I said, damn, man, that shit broke me, bro. It didn't break me in a way. It broke my heart in a way that it let more light shine in. So I'm like, all right, I'ma just go harder. I'ma just go hard. I'ma do these videos. I'ma do these documentaries. And I'ma just give y'all what I got. And I'm not gonna do it all for y'all. I'ma do it because I need to see the beauty in me. I haven't reached the level where I see the beauty in me yet. So that's a long way of saying that I'm going to do more videos. I don't give a fuck if they don't get views. I don't give a fuck if they kick me off of YouTube. I don't give a fuck about what happens. I have more to learn. So that means I have more to teach. I have more to say. I have more to do. I need to learn about myself. That's why I'm here. I can't get caught up in the glitz and glam of the spiritual community. I can't get caught up in the glamour. Bobby Hemmett taught me that years ago. That's the first lesson I learned from Bobby Hemmett about glamour. So I gotta always be mindful of how it plays in my life. I know that I have a lot to learn. That's why I have this platform. That's why I was gifted with this platform, with the name, with the title, the Hood Mystic. There's a lot of people who wanted to have the name Hood Mystic. You think that the hood, who came first, the Hood Mystic or the Hood Healer? Who came first, the Hood Mystic or the Hood Witch? Riddle me that. Okay, I'm not bragging. I'm saying these were gifts from spirit when I wanted to learn myself, and I'm not done. Actually, I'm just now getting started. If y'all want to be honest, I got a lot of work to do on myself, physical, mental, emotional, and I can't wait to show y'all the growth and development that's been taking place in my life, because I'm able to learn and value and love me. What would my messaging be to anybody? Should you love anybody more than yourself? No. You need to learn. I mean, in the knee deeps of relationships and families and businesses and whatever, fuck all of that shit. Learn how to love yourself. And even deeper, you might feel like, who am I and what do I have to offer? The reality is that you probably don't have shit to offer. That's a reality for a lot of people. You might not have not a fucking thing to offer, but that's something to offer. The fact that you don't have nothing to offer. You might not know how to braid hair worth a shit. Can't braid whatsoever. But if you learn how to braid hair, you could also teach how to braid hair. But you could be the person that teach people who don't know how to braid hair, because that's what you learn. One's in the chat if that makes sense, because all of y'all have an opportunity to be great if you able to identify what you need to learn. One's in the chat if that makes sense. And once you learn something, you can't just take it for yourself. You got to teach somebody else. Ones if that makes sense. because a lot of y'all get confused on what you should be doing, and you know, sitting back and stagnating and sitting in the fucking bleachers watching life pass you by. But you need to get in the game. And if you don't have shit to offer, now if you do have shit to offer, learn more about it and teach us how to get to your level. But if you don't have shit to offer, you need to learn some shit to offer and figure out what you want to learn. That's the beautiful part. You know what you want to learn. You know what you want to get better at. Whose responsibility is that? And if you're going to say, well, I'm learning this area, then teach me some shit that you've learned. It's super easy, but you know. You know how people take it. People take it to the hard way. So full moons, always good to remember what type of energy you was in 2 weeks ago. The moon is going to be in Sidereal Cancer, so we dealing with emotional energy. The moon is emotional energy. So of course the sun is in the third decan of Cancer, the last decan of Cancer. That decan is ruled by the moon. So our expression and our Cancer energy is more into like love or the outpouring of love. Opposed the moon conjunct Saturn and Capricorn, where we have emotional moon stability. Capricorn conjunct Saturn. Are you able to learn or get the wisdom how to become emotionally stable? Why is being emotionally stable an important thing in the world today? Because the world is completely fucking unstable. So since the world unstable, that means your ass got to be unstable too. Or if the world is unstable, shouldn't you become extra stable to kind of balance the energy out? Or do you look at the world and say, the world is fucked up, so am I? When it could be a whole switching of energy and a whole changing of the guard, but you would never know because you going down with the fucking shit. So I want to alert to y'all, this full moon is activating the T-square with the North Node in Uranus. So North Node is our future. Uranus is how we change. And it's also T-square in Mars, the planet of action. So we could be actual co-creators in this whole process of change and awakening in relation to our actions. So how does this look for me? To kind of bring, because I speak the astrology and it'd be like, I don't know what the fuck you talking about. So I got to keep it a little bit realer than just looking at the astrology. So how I looked at this, even before I studied the charts, because I've been driving all weekend, I had been just thinking about how the fuck hard that I'll be going with my videos, with my YouTube, with my Patreon, the documentaries that I want to do, the videos that I want to do, working extra hard on creating content and how I'm going to release content, how I'm going to attract more Patreon subscribers. Thinking about all of that. Now I'm thinking about it, I'm contemplating it, but that's one level. I got to actually put action to it. So as much as I've been thinking about doing videos this whole weekend, it's fucking 1:19 a.m. 1:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm only saying that because I'm just letting y'all know I was going to do this video till fucking night, regardless of anything. Like, it wasn't nothing on my mind. Like, shit, it's 1:20. And I know my videos is long, so I like this shit. I didn't even think about the time. The only thing that I'm thinking about is my destiny. And I ain't saying that my destiny is doing YouTube videos It's definitely part of the whole, though. It's definitely part of the process. It's definitely part of the education and being self-taught. The YouTube videos are a part of the whole, but it's a lot of areas in my life, in my wife's life, in my family's life that we're not talking about fucking shit. We're just doing it. And maybe it's the alignment, maybe it's the time, maybe it's just random, but I'm just giving y'all much more of an elucidation of how I'm perceiving this astrology, these astrological aspects. So even deeper, let's talk about the sun in Cancer a little further. What is the sun in astrology? Why is it important? Why would we even talk about it? Well, the sun, why would we talk about the sun, right? The sun, not only does the sun give us life, it gives us light. The sun is super important and it gives us energy. Not the spiritual community's catchphrase word, energy, but real live energy, electromagnetic energy, electric magnetic energy that allows for all life and sub-life to exist on this earth. The sun is a big deal. Cancer is a constellation. So when we look at constellations, we look at constellations as being the tent to the light. So the sun is the light and the planet would be the tent that the sun shines through or Venus shines through. So the sun in Cancer is going to be the sun in Cancer is going to have a different energy than the sun in Leo or the sun in Virgo or the sun in Aries, because the tent of the constellation will change the energy inflection. This is why people are different, plants are different, animals are different, areas of the earth are different. Florida is different from Michigan. Ireland is different from Africa, because the electromagnetic energy hits the planet in different variations based upon where you're at on the planet. So back to the sun in Cancer, this is an energy of what I would call smart emotion or love. Now, smart emotion and love could be very much of a natural symbiotic process where you see a kid who just like tall for no reason, or you see somebody that's like naturally strong or naturally tall or naturally handsome. And the sun in Cancer is that, but we're scientists, we're astrologers, we study the stars, so we see a natural and spontaneous growth. We could take that same mentality and be intentional with it. That's the difference between being natural and spontaneous. We might not want to be tall. We might not want to be good looking. We may want to grow our business. We may want to grow our family. We just may want to understand life. This is the time to use this intentional energy to figure out how we're going to use it. All of this love energy, how is it benefiting you? It's like a fund of finances. Like, it's like we could look at life and say that everybody is against us, everybody is holding us back, but then we can drive. Why is it in every fucking city in the country there's a suburbs? Is there a suburb in your city and town? I don't even know where you live at, but I know it's a suburb. I know it's an area where it's people that's getting money and they ain't trying to deal with no hood shit. Why is the hood people struggling, talking about it ain't no money, but then it's people in the suburbs hustling, getting to it, going back and forth to work, going on vacations and trips? Is it that some people are unintentional when it comes to finances and prosperity, and it is other people that are intentional, that are not afraid to learn, not afraid to grow, not afraid to do the magic, not afraid to trust their soul? And another thing about the sun in Cancer, this outpouring of love energy, you might be a good looking girl or a good looking guy and take the out love and pouring energy and just get more good looks, but didn't do no financial work, didn't do no family work, didn't do no spiritual work. Y'all ever met somebody and all they talk about is manifesting a love or manifesting a business? And the ways for them to manifest that love or manifest the business is to work in the areas that they're struggling at. But they don't ever get the time or the space or the energy to find that time to deal with what they struggling with, because everybody is telling them how perfect that day life is. So they figure like something is wrong with them. So since something is wrong with you, you're not going to do the work. If you think you good, you won't grow. But if you see some shit that is fucked up in your life, now you ready to pour this outpouring and be intentional with the sun and Cancer energy. In one of my card reading videos, I talked about Cancer energy, and I said, man, Cancer energy is scary. Cancer is the crab. A crab ain't no cute, cuddly animal. Crab will claw your ass up. The ocean ain't no beautiful, wonderful place. It's goddamn sharks and more sharks and all types of predators in the goddamn ocean. You ain't about to survive in the ocean. The ocean gonna swallow you alive. The ocean is treacherous. So but we need, like, at the same time, the ocean is treacherous, but it's the same ocean that saved our ancestors. Got our ancestors from point A to point B. Same ocean that provided our ancestors with crab, lobsters, and fish that we ate. And our ancestors ate that fish, and part of that reason is why we're here today. So the ocean is a great thing. It's a scary thing. It's a bad thing. It's a good thing. It is what it is. It's people that swim every fucking day, get on boats every fucking day, and the same whitewater rafting that they rafted in their whole lives be the same whitewater fucking rapid that kills them. The same place that you love and have fun and joy with be the same place that take you out. This is nature. This is God. So this is why we learn about love, we learn about religion, so we don't get wiped out so easy, believe it or not. But even tying it into seduction, the greatest seduction is when a woman can scare you half to death. I want to feel a little nervous, a little uncomfortable, a little uneasy. I don't know why, but it's something about being scared and then being eased into a safe environment that makes me feel like the seduction was more worthwhile. So life probably would give you negative things, not to scare you, not to throw you out. This would be my message from time immemorial. Pain is here to help you. You shouldn't run from your pain. You should actually let your pain guide you and help you. Unfortunately, most people never experience what the fuck I'm talking about or even understand the level of conversation that I'm having, because they're so deeply entrenched in running away from their pain. They so fixated and focused on having a good life that they're not able to identify the bad things in them that need to change to have that good life, to attract that good life, to seduce that good life, attract that good life. People will, and it's gonna be people that you like and love that don't give a fuck about nothing that you talking about, because they do not want to deal with the truth. And then since they don't want to deal with the truth, they okay with being stagnant, they okay with living in darkness, they okay with it. The analogy that came to my mind is like this doorway. And right outside of the doorway, like inside of the doorway, is bliss, happiness, joy, cocoa butter, bananas, coconuts, palm trees, blue oceans, Coke 45s, Black and Milds, weed, just all of the shit that a nigga need. Baby oil, baby lotion, just goddamn, what's that green, they got the green grease and the blue grease, just in case you need to do your hair, just everything that a nigga need. But right in front of that door is your fear and your pain. And you gotta go through that shit to get through that door. And most people do not want to deal with the fear and the pain that you have to go through to get to the other side. So they go everywhere else. And I'm telling you, once y'all realize this, because I've realized it and I just be listening to people, and people don't realize that they running from pain. They don't realize that their whole shit is running from pain. They need to get money, they need to move, they need to do this, they need to do that, because to face the pain is too unbearable. And if they successful, if you are successful, that just means that you'll continue to run away from your pain. That's the craziest shit of it all. I'm gonna take my time. She gonna get It's good sensual seduction energy. Shout out to Snoop Lion. So the sun will be in Ashleesha Nakshatra. And this is where I got the seduction from. Ashleesha represents the power of insight, intuition, the energy of the moon, strength of the serpent deity, is regarded as the substantial negativity. Substantial negativity would be the necessary evil, or the boogeyman and the gremlin that stands right in front of your bliss and your passion. I wish that y'all could hear me this evening. Like, I really wish y'all could hear me. Cause y'all will go every fucking where in the world, say every fucking thing, try to get the car, try to live a life, try to find a job. And I would just wish that y'all would just face y'all pain. Cause it would just save you so much time and energy and money. Y'all looking for the good thing. Y'all looking for the good thing. And y'all not finding it, and it's making you even more upset. But if you look for the pain, I'm sure you can find the pain. I'm sure you can find the pain. And when you find the pain, you'll find the power. And if you don't know, you can definitely learn. And if you are in a space of fearing the ocean, you can definitely learn how to swim or how to sail. This is human nature. I'm sure the first humans that seen the ocean was like, man, this shit's scary as hell. But it took a couple of people or a few people to build some damn boats, build some damn rafts. And I'm sure the first raft that they built was a piece of shit and it broke down and it wasn't the best raft, but they built another one. And once they built boats and rafts and shit, then they get to a point like, damn, we on the ocean, swimming, going from island to island. This is awesome. This is great. But I'm sure it was a lot of pain before they got to the point of building boats, being able to travel from continent to continent, island to island. So when we look at the darkness or the negativity that we're facing, especially this week, don't run from it. I would say no weeks. I would say no weeks ever. But, you know, can't win them all. The deity of the Ashleesha Nakshatra is the serpent. Now, you will hear the serpent in the Bible, in Hindu, Muslim, all religions, all mythology, Egyptians. But what does it mean, right? What does it actually mean? In this context, when we're talking about the Ashleesha Nakshatra, we're talking about sperm. We're talking about fertility. We're talking about living forever. And, you know, some women get into their 30s and be like, oh shit, I really want a family now. Dog, you talking to a girl that's 23 and be like, girl, when you turn 30, you gonna be talking different. They be 20 like, I don't want no relationship. I don't never just see myself being in a relationship. And you be young and you ain't never even felt the hormones of wanting a family. So you be talking big shit. Then you get in your 30s and your 40s and that big shit talk be real. You humble yourself real fast. Saying it all to say, it's not about if you want kids or you don't want kids. It's much larger than that. It's about human existence and biological processes and learning how to live forever. This life that you live in ain't yours. You living for your fucking progeny. Only a selfish motherfucker say, well, this is the only life that I'm living. I'm the only person in it. How are you going to continue the legacy of your family if you don't have children? So when the serpent came and told Adam and Eve about having sex, he did that so they could live forever. You think about like history, they'll be talking about how, or like, I forget dude name, but it's some mythological and historical books talk about how human beings had many different forms before they came into this one. In this form, we was able to fuck freely. So everything in religion, everything in life is either trying to get you to fuck haphazardly or not fuck at all. So we can't even have real conversations about sex because people is not even mature to talk about the spiritual components and the necessity of sex for manifesting life. But y'all will have kids and be taking a fucking baby daddy to child support. Talking about hood, can I get a reading? Should I take my baby daddy to child support or not? Y'all see how crazy that sound? Or is it just me? It's probably just me. But I speak for the one or two people that might hear this message and understand what the fuck I'm talking about. Cause like, I be sitting back blown away by this shit. For real. Like, damn. Motherfuckers can create a whole legacy and a whole fucking generation of gods and want to take their baby daddy to goddamn child support. like, people are so selfish and can only think about themselves that when you tap into the love energy that's being poured out, you would never understand how it worked. If you was thinking about the community and being the best person that you could be in the community, life would be a lot easier. But y'all been fed lies and y'all trying to do everything by yourself. And you got to kill that person. That person that think that everything is supposed to be done by itself, that motherfucker got to go. Snakes can shed their skin, representing the death of a being, and regenerate new skin underneath, representing a regeneration or rebirth. They're associated with water or earth, Cancer, and Capricorn, because most of the snakes either live in the water or under the earth. So when you, like, I do all of these investigations and understandings, and then I look at my own life and make the connections, and then I share the message that things can happen to you and for you if you are, one, mad enough, and two, able to direct your energy towards that which you really want. If you nice about it, if you kind about it, if you open about it, then ain't no spirit not even gonna respond to that weak ass shit. Trying to be too nice and trying to be too pretty, and that ain't gonna get you nowhere. Especially if you got rage within you. if you got real rage inside of you and you don't express it, and you're not going to manifest that what you want to, like, you're being inauthentic. And so being inauthentic, you get an inauthentic type of energy. Partly because you don't want to hurt people and partly because you don't want to rock the boat, but life requires you to sometimes rock the boat. So speaking of rocking the boat, we have Sun in Cancer, opposed Moon, conjunct Saturn in Capricorn for this full moon. And the moon, like I said earlier, represents our emotional waves, to's and fro's. Capricorn representing our stability. So moon, emotional stability. So when you hear a concept like emotional stability, well, this is what I do. I ask myself, well, why would I need to be emotionally stable? Well, I would have to be emotionally stable if the world is unstable. And the moon conjunct Saturn for a full moon, that means that there are lessons to be learned. And I'm looking at these lessons, I'm seeking out these lessons, and I'm learning these lessons because Saturn can discipline, or Saturn could give you favorable experiences. So if you want a miracle, if you want something specific, learn the lesson to get it. Learn it righteously, learn it sincerely, apply what you've learned. T-square to Mars, North Node, Uranus. And this is going to be the beginning of a new world for you. If you want to sit back and complain that motherfuckers done you wrong and don't nobody like you and people use you and abuse you and did you da without learning the lessons, you're going to continue to manifest that which you already been manifesting already. Somebody had left a comment on one of my videos and they expected me to feel sorry for them, but I told them straight up, you creating that reality. I feel like my spiritual life ain't going nowhere. I'm fucked up. I'm doing bad. If you feel that way, then you're going to create that. And you can't fake it either. Like, well, okay, I feel good now. I'm still waiting for good things to happen. Still good things ain't happening. It's the moon conjunct Saturn square Mars. So just because you feeling it and just because you expressing it, you still gonna have to act it out. This is a very important quotient. When you have Mars in there, we could talk about all the spiritual shit till we turn blue in the face. But we're going to have some level of action associated with our emotional and our physical attributes. Imagine just a beautiful person just showing up and looking at you while you at work. Just looking at you, and you're like, well, you want to fuck? You want to go out to dinner? They don't say nothing. They just look at you. That's just the full moon. You got your dream girl just looking at you. Now you got to have the planet of action, Uranus and North Node, to say, hey, let's do something. My address is 1551 Park Street. Come over. Like, you need some action associated with whatever it is that you want. And I say that to say, motherfuckers will sit and, like, me personally, I will sit and wish and hope for some shit that I could have just been did. Could have been took a class on Skillshare, learn how to learn how to do it, and it been done. But I'll be sitting hoping and wishing for some shit. So learning from Mars, learning from Uranus, learning from the North Node in this Sidereal Taurus energy, if we are actively, like, we can process shit and we can contemplate shit for as long as it takes. Make sure that you have an action plan. So another thing about conscious people, we got a hard time, and it ain't our fault because we can't force a motherfucker to be our elder, but we can still be intentional about, so we can say the sun is in Cancer in the third decan. There's an outpouring of love and advice and support, but it's not just showing up at my doorstep. You could take this week to seek out advice from elders, from people that you respect, people that you love in the areas that you are struggling at. I would hope that spiritual people would get off their pedestal, get off their high horse, and identify the areas that they're struggling, identify the pain. I'm saying this because I really give a fuck about y'all, and I'm not trying to blow smoke up y'all asses and get y'all to a place where y'all not actually having any breakthroughs. If you want breakthroughs, heal your pain, face your pain, deal with your fears. Obliterate your fears. Make it that your fears is your catalyst. If you want breakthroughs, a lot of you want breakthroughs, but still want to look at your fears as the things as wisdom, as understanding. It's good that I'm not doing this thing because I don't actually need it anyway. You want to master this full moon? Ask yourself, do you lie to yourself? In what ways do you lie to yourself? Write down all the ways that you lie to yourself. And then if you can find a list of all the ways that you lie to yourself, try to figure out what's the truth that you're trying to cover up. What are you trying to cover up? And once you find that truth, then you could actually build and cultivate something that is within you truthfully. But you probably lying to yourself about a lot of shit. Find your weakness. Have a sincere approach to wanting to learn. And like they say in all cliches and all previous motivational movies, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So that's real shit. But It's not going to happen naturally, spontaneously. As we said earlier, it comes from a place of being intentional. So the moon, emotions, Capricorn, stability. Emotional stability is the capacity to maintain one's emotional balance under stressful circumstances. You wouldn't never know if you had emotional stability if you never experienced stressful circumstances. And this is what I'm trying to communicate to you when you try to run from your pain, when you try to run from your stress, when you try to run from your confusion. Don't run from your confusion. Learn, remove your confusion. Don't run from your stress. Learn how to function and thrive in your stress so you can learn how to be more stable. An unstable person is generally the person that's showing up the most happy, showing up the most put together. Because when people show up put together, that's a defense mechanism. That's a coping mechanism. Because if you was to remove the layer of them not having their shit together, you know what's under there? Emotional instability, neuroticism, thinking negative all the fucking time. So they have to present a positive viewpoint of themselves, of life, because if you say negative shit, they feel like they gonna get kicked out of the building, kicked out of the club. They gotta be perfect for y'all. They gotta be rich for y'all. At the expense of their emotional stability. Emotional stable persons tolerate minor stresses and strains of the day, living without becoming emotionally upset, anxious, nervous, tense, or angry. A person who is not emotionally stable, dealing with an emotional stable person, people think that I'm retarded. You ain't mad. You ain't upset. You ain't gonna fight. You ain't gonna retaliate. No. I'm gonna go deep within myself until I find that joy that I've been missing out on. And when I find it, the answers is always there. So in reference to a moon in Capricorn, a full moon in Capricorn, and mastering a full moon in Capricorn, a person can say, oh, I just gotta make a sidetrack. There's no such thing as a Lion's Gate. It's not a such thing. It don't exist. It's completely made up shit that people say. It don't mean a damn thing. If a person telling you about a Lion's Gate, they done heard it from a liar and they believe what that liar was saying. It happens all the time, but trust me, no such thing as a Lion's Gate. And you could be doing a whole bunch of Lion's Gate shit, and then what? Did you get a pet lion? Did your cat roar? Like, what happened? Oh, you manifest some good stuff that was going to cover up your pain. So you got some more good stuff that's going to cover up your pain, and you thinking you succeeding. Well, you didn't succeed. You didn't succeed. The key to success is emotional stability. Emotional stability is to maintain one's emotional balance under stressful circumstances. It's not to remove stressful circumstances out of your life. You can't probably even do that if you try to do it. So now we're just understanding how life works and then how we're going to navigate the waters, Sun and Cancer. And we're not going to be stressed out that we're on the ocean because we're actually on a destination. We actually have a destiny. And we're actually twerking on the boat, attracting that destiny, every butt cheek, up and down flex. Now, this is really important when you talk about emotions. If I say that we live in an illusion and this reality is an illusion, I'm telling you that so you can master your emotions. Because if you think that life is real, then you'll look at everything you experience as real and feel it. But when you realize that this world is an illusion, then there's no real reason to be so emotional that you become emotionally unstable whenever stress happens. If you realize that the stress is rooted in illusion, the good things is rooted in illusion, the bad things, illusionary, the whole world is an illusion, the first place that this is supposed to hit is at your emotions. You live in illusion in the appearance of things. There is a reality, but you do not know this. When you understand this, you will see that you are nothing. And being nothing, you are everything. That is all. But if you sit and worry about what you're trying to manifest and what you're trying to get, ask yourself why you want it so bad. And I guarantee you'll say, I'm trying to cover up this pain that I'm not trying to face, and I'm using this good thing to actually cover up. What's so bad about it is that you never deal with the truth of the world that you're living in because you spend your whole entire life running from pain. Now, to get out of this illusion, you have to go through your pain. And the normal modality for all of us is to run from it by propagating ourselves as being better than him, being better than her. So if I'm better than you, I can't be nothing. And if I can't be nothing, then I can't be everything. And if I can't be everything, I can't actually be a part of the spiritual journey. I'm outside of it. I'm in humanity, in the competitive world. I'm not in the spiritual world, because to be spiritual means to be nothing. To be nothing means to be everything. And I'm telling you, this level of conversation, most people are not going to give to you because to tell you that you need to reduce your ego would mean to say that I need to reduce my ego. And if I reduce my ego, that's ruining my bottom line. I won't be able to pay my rent if I reduce my ego. But in order to see the illusion for what it is, you can't see the illusion for what it is and have your ego in tow. Because the ego is always going to act like this shit is real, this shit is major, this shit is important, and you never going to get the peace of mind because the ego won't let you. The ego is saying this shit is real. Did you call your mama today? Did you get a job? You got money? Is you worried? Is you stressed? The ego is working you. You need to get to a space of being nothing, letting it all go to find peace. Get into your fucking parasympathetic system, relax, restore, come to a real cognization of your spiritual truth, or you'll be stuck in the illusion. The crazy part about this world is that, all right, let's try to deal with this from a esoteric point of view. The moon is in the Ashleesha Nakshatra. Now, the Ashleesha Nakshatra is called the drummer. Now, the drummer in ancient times would be what Chris Brown is in postmodern times. Capricorn is all about success. But when human beings are successful, we call them stars. So a star or a successful person or a celebrity is in divine alignment with the cosmos, so much so that they go to a stage and everybody is just clapping and singing every song. So if Chris Brown can do a tour and sell out the tour, then that must mean Chris Brown is better than me and you. Chris Brown is worth $1,000 a picture. Some of y'all haven't even took a picture with y'all boyfriend for real. Y'all don't even got pictures of y'all boyfriend on social media. But we'll pay $1,000 to see Chris Brown. That's an illusion. But the illusion is much in alignment with the world that we see now with media and entertainment. The minds and souls and hearts of the ones that we love is trapped in the illusion of looking at other people as being better and greater than them. So when I say that you need to be nothing to become everything, hopefully you will understand. Because trying to be good, you ain't going to be as good as Chris Brown now, is you? But being nothing, you can supersede and trump whatever human games that's being played on this earth. You're not supposed to be like Chris Brown. You're not supposed to be studying Chris Brown and his life more than you should be trying to seduce your own destiny. Figure out your own life path. Why is people so concerned with Chris Brown that they not concerned with themselves? And I'm not talking about Chris Brown specifically or picking on Chris Brown as the only person people do this to. People do this with fucking dusty ass rappers. Not even the hot rappers. I'm just talking about no-name local rappers. People would dick ride them. Because it's all about who is better. Like, even like this shit is so aggravating listening to rap. Like, rappers is just literally just rapping about a perfect life and a perfect existence. And the problem is that life is good and bad. So in our minds, in these young people's minds, they out here seeking this perfect world and this perfect existence and this perfect life, and they're not even learning how to get it, which would be more of the negative quotient, whether you like it or not, whether you want to or not. If you work out in the gym, might not be a beautiful, pleasant experience, but if you work out there long enough, you will have the body that you want. If you save your money, you might not be able to go to the restaurant that you want to go to, but you might have enough money to buy your house. So if you ate out every single day and you was fucking homeless, but you didn't eat out, ate some ramen noodles for a couple of months, but you ended up manifesting a house, was it so bad after all? Question that you might have to ask yourself if you learn to stop fearing life and start to really face it. And stop thinking that other people are on the pedestal because they might be in the Capricornian energy. They might be the drummer. They might be in alignment with the sun, moon, and the stars. That's just their alignment. That's just their path. That don't make them better than you. That don't make you worse than them. If anything, it lets you know that this is what it looks like when you are in Dhanasta, when you are the drummer, when you are in alignment with the sun, moon, and the stars, when you become a star yourself. A star or a celebrity is just a person that is in alignment with the cosmos. So this whole conversation is just a conversation to assist those who are attempting to be in alignment with the cosmos themselves. That's why we deal with Sidereal astrology. That's why I talk so much about this shit. Because as simple as it is, it's not easy. As simple as it is, it's not easy. So we've been talking about Mars and Sidereal Taurus, Uranus just now entering Sidereal Taurus. It's going to be here for the next 7 to 10 years. So Uranus is a larger, well, it's a slower body. and the slower bodies have more of a generational change. So when Uranus transits into a different sign, you're actually talking about the changing of a paradigm. And I'm telling you that this paradigm is in massive wealth. Over these next 7 to 10 years, people are going to come into life-changing wealth. People going to have more money than they know what to do with. And it's not going to be some random fluky shit. The reality is that you have access to this money now, believe it or not. It's all about information, understanding, and understanding. If I tell you you got millions of dollars just waiting for you and you don't go to find it, then it ain't going to show up on your doorstep either. I'm only speaking for the universe. I'm only speaking for the collective. I can't say, oh, this person got it, but this person don't got it. We talking about Uranus. We talking about the Awakener. We talking about Dick Gregory. We talking about the universal God. Very important to watch Dick Gregory videos so you can tap into some cosmic knowledge. Dick Gregory is Uranus manifested, incarnated. There's many different ways that I say that, but one of the ways that I know is that Uranus operates on an 84-year cycle. It takes Uranus 84 years to go from one point to another point. Dick Gregory lived to be 84 years old. That's just one level of it. I can get into many different levels. Uranus is the great awakener. All Dick Gregory ever did was awaken black people to their power. Was he the perfect human being? No. Was his spirit perfect? Absolutely. Can we learn a lot from Dick Gregory? Absolutely. Uranus and Taurus is about the changing of this world. And if you are able to open up your consciousness just enough to be receptive of the spiritual truth of your ancestors, of your wealth, of your prosperity, all you would then have to do is align to it. It's a lot of stuff, you know. People will have, you know, blocks to finances, blocks to prosperity, blocks to abundance. You got to recognize them blocks and separate yourself from them type of people if you want financial abundance in your life. Look how people spend their money. Why people want money, but they don't want to be conscious of their finances. You got to be conscious of that. So just kind of showing y'all some stuff so y'all can see it. Y'all can kind of understand it. One of the ways of understanding Mars and Uranus and in the energy of Taurus, rather, is postmodern world. We have the historical world, we have the modern world, and we have the postmodern world. And this world is a world where people are asking questions, where they just seem to be normal. And I can say it from a definitive standpoint, but then I can speak niggalese to y'all, right? Our generation can't buy shit, can't own shit, shit super expensive, inflation, cryptocurrency, the Fed, and inflation like at 10%, crazy shit. But then our mom's generation be like, well, why you don't got a place to stay? Why you don't got no money? Why you all fucked up and shit? And it's like, they think that the world is a way that is no longer. So we have 3 generations of people, maybe 4, and all of these generations of people lived in different lives, different areas. So I'm bringing this up to say where Uranus transit signs, you might get a whole generational difference and a whole generational question that people are asking. Who am I? What am I supposed to be doing? You know, growing up, it was just so normal and so accepted for people to just go to college, get their job, get their house, and live their life. For a majority of us, we don't even have that opportunity. We can't get a job that pay enough. We can't get a house that we afford. And we come in our parents' lifetimes, they could get a house and a car for $10,000. Nigga, we could go to a club and spend $10,000 in one night. The world have completely changed. And if you're not able to get up on this, then it's like our minds could be thinking of some old program on what we should do when we face adversity. But in doing this study and trying to understand this the best that I can, it's better to just reset, understand who you are, and don't assume that things are known. Even from a scientific perspective, a scientist is going to wake up and go to work every day, every night, all the time, because he don't know and he trying to know. And if scientists don't know everything, there is no way that in your mind that you know everything. So become a scientist. Become a person that asks the questions in your relationships. When you love somebody, do you really love them? Is this relationship really a serious relationship, or are they just using you? You know, just getting into the nitty gritty of all of your experiences so you can get to a truth. Because back in the days, it was an assumed truth. If she looked good, she wifey. Now, if she look good, she might have a BBL. She might be wearing a wig. She might be wearing makeup. So she might not be wifey. She might not even look good. It's a lot of facades. It's a lot of illusions. It's a lot of bullshit because a lot of people are looking for stuff outside of themselves. And when it comes to actually doing the inner work, they don't even know what that shit is. When we talk about inner work, we talk about living a spiritual life. And to live a spiritual life, I've learned about this concept and I haven't kept it out of my mind. I haven't kept it out of my spirit. I haven't kept it out of my heart. It's called the 5 F's. Faith, family, friends, finances, and fitness. Can't do all of one, 4 out of the 5, 3 out of the 5, 1 out of the 5. To live a balanced, complete, and happy life in real terms, you're going to have to balance out all 5 of these things. Once I started to actually hear this and see this and experience this, it made all the sense in the world. Because I was taught a lie that it was all about money. And that wasn't ever true. Because once you got all of the money and you lost your family, what did you have? You lost your faith in God, what did you have? You lost your finances, but you had your friends, what did you have? Sometimes we can get our money, sometimes we got our family, but we don't got no friends that we can actually talk to and kick it with. Sometimes we got the finances and family, but we don't be working out and taking care of our body like that. And I know some spiritual people that's going to get out of this bitch and be confused on, you know, what's wrong with me? I'm not doing the thing that I need to do, and it's all fucked up for me and this, that, and the third. But it's like you only focus on one area of life when you need to focus on all of this shit. How the fuck you going to just clean out your bathroom but not clean out your kitchen? How you going to just clean out your kitchen but not your living room? If you going to clean the house, clean up the whole fucking house. Like, really be mindful of all of the areas that you need to take care of, because your stress, your trauma, and your disconnection is in one of these areas. I guarantee you, it's some shit is one of these 5 that you have neglected. and you have just let sit by the wayside. And now you going to these spiritual people, now you trying to get readings, now you trying to deal with this shit, and it's like, have you not been dealing with your health? Deal with that. You don't have no friends. You don't have nobody to fucking talk to. That's not normal. That's not good. You're not so spiritual, you're not so great that you can live this life without family. How come family don't exist for you? Is that a wound for you? Is that something that needs to be healed? Then heal that. Stop ignoring it. Just to be righteous, just to be spiritual, just to be woke. Because of course, you can be righteous and wrong. You could be righteous and one-sided. You could be righteous and focused and have a world full of attachments. It's like me, man. I really felt those attachments throughout my life. It's like, man, you would think that a person or people love you, but really they're attached to you. And you are going to find attachments a majority of the time where you don't love yourself. And when I'm saying what I'm going through or the negative things that happen to me, I need y'all to understand that this is my greatest flex for y'all. Like if I had a fucking Maybach and a Bentley, I would never show y'all. I would never tell y'all, because that's not a flex to me. My flex is overcoming my pain. My flex is going from attachments to connections. That's my flex. Facing my pain, identifying my pain, knowing that I have pain, knowing that I've been running from my pain. That's my flex. Acting like I got it all together, that's not a flex to me. That's a cap. You would know the difference between connections and attachments when you get aware of the difference. But most times life is filled with attachments that bring about tension, that bring about difficult scenarios. Because listen, man, if you a good person, that person that's in your life, that's in a relationship with you, they fucking with you because you a good person. Believe that. If you was ever to become a bad person, guess what that would do? That would create tension, wouldn't it? That would create problems in your life because you not being the good person that I want you to be. See, attachments is what niggas is dealing with out here in these streets. A connection comes from letting go. It's working through surrendering all the things that hold you back and cause you stress in your relationship in life. See, if I say, I'm done, you can have this shit, that's when you see people's true colors. You'll never see a person's true colors when you're a good person. This is why the crazy dude, the drug dealer, the gangster, the over expressive masculine male never has a problem with getting in a relationship. But the good guy, the good girl, the good natured person, the good hearted person will always struggle in relationships. Because we normalize attachments. We normalize not being our authentic self. If I say I'm this person that I am, and you know that I'm this person, and I express it to you and I show it to you, you become a magnet to your desires. When you show up all confused and not really sure and trying to be something that you're not, it's like you creating more tension and more stress on your life than you even realize that you even doing. Because the ability to be authentic comes from a place of positive and negative. Authenticity never came from a place of being all good. And it's always a up and a down, an explosion, an emotional outburst, spiritual weird shit, just weird shit happening to people. Because they don't understand this simple trick to being authentic is just to be yourself. Say, for instance, I'm being myself right now. And it push a lot of people away. It get a lot of people away from you when you yourself. But the beauty in that is that I don't never have to be somebody that I'm not. And the beauty in that is that if I'm learning how to be a more authentic version of myself, I can trust in that growth and development of me becoming that. Because this is what I've always given people. It's not always been good over here. It's not always been perfect. But it's always been authentic. And I promise you, you could take authenticity to the bank. I've been able to take authenticity to the bank on multiple levels and on multiple areas in my life. I am who I am. And I love the fact that I am who I am. And I'm learning to love that person more. The reason why I'm doing it is because I crave connection. Attachment is disgusting to me. But connection, which is all within me, all within my understanding of who I am, which will align me with the people that I need to be aligned with. And I know this is true. The reason that I know this is true is because when I didn't feel so great about myself, when I didn't love myself, I attracted people that exacerbated that fact. So I can't be mad at my attachments. I can look forward to my connections. But I know in the future that my connections are going to come from the deepest level of self-love that I can offer myself. Because when I'm in relationships with people, I might create a problem based on me not loving myself. And I don't want to do that any longer. So, seducing destiny. Are y'all ready to seduce destiny? Are y'all ready to be on the journey? They say that life is not about the destination, but the journey. As much as I hear that, I never feel that from people. I never feel that from myself. I'm working towards something so much and I forget to enjoy it. So I'm going to be very mindful to enjoy this week, enjoy life, enjoy those that I'm connected to, and also build the connection with myself. Maybe you can look at some old pictures like I looked at some old pictures and remembered who I was, which is going to help me be the person that I'm becoming. Because that young man that I forgot was very impressive. He was very beautiful. He was very strong. And I am him. So it's not hard for me to find myself because I am myself. I just know where to look now. I was looking in the wrong places. Finding balance in all areas of life: family, fun, fitness, faith, and finances. Don't forget that. If you find yourself being one-sided, you probably responding to your woundedness and your brokenness. But when you start to heal, you don't want to heal in just one area, because just being in one area is not living. And Black people, we not taught this. We taught to be the best at the one thing, and the other areas in our lives, we are taught to just suffer in those areas. And I find that to be a mistake. So as you do this inner work, or maybe you feel like you don't need to do the inner work to change or become a better person, the reason why I'm doing it is because I don't want to hurt anybody any longer. I don't want to show up less than I actually am any longer. And it might be a long process. That's why if it's going to be a long process to heal, if it's going to be a long process to recover, then I better start to enjoy this process. I better start to enjoy the journey. I shouldn't be so fixated on the goal that I lose the seductive qualities of actually getting the goal, because once the seduction is over, once you hit it, the seduction is over and you can't get those energies again. So managing the seduction is enjoying life every day, enjoying the journey every day, and not showing up broke, but showing up healed in more ways than one. Are you an active co-creator with the universe? If you are an active co-creator with the universe, then take action in its co-creation, because we are seducing destiny. We are having sex with destiny. We're not having a one-night stand with Jermaine. We're having a one-night stand with our greatest life, right? If you don't know, get help. Learn. If you don't know, get help. Learn. Don't expect the people in your family, in your close circle, to be your fucking gurus and your healers and your advisors. Them niggas don't know just as much. You know more shit than them. Don't be asking people for advice that don't know shit about what you asking them advice for. Get out of your comfort zone. I've been hearing a lot of stories about people reaching out to people and people reaching back out. So you never know what can happen if you get out your comfort zone and ask for help, ask for collaborations. But when you ask for collaborations, be able to offer some shit that's worthwhile. If you don't got nothing to offer somebody worthwhile, don't ask to work with them. Maybe ask to learn, be an apprentice, be an intern, be a fucking volunteer. Get off the bleachers. Get into the game. Stop watching spiritual people and calling it spirituality. Stop trying to act like you not spiritual, that you don't got shit to say, and you ain't got a voice out here in these streets. Okay? Get in the game, man. Attention from others will not help you this week. So instead, pay attention to yourself. Take the healing actions of learning, growing, and developing to help you gain clarity. Clarity will help you enjoy the journey to your destiny, because this is what life's all about. The journey, not the destiny. Check out the article, which I kind of followed throughout this video presentation. So if you want a clear, succinct view of this full moon, the article will be in the description on my Substack. I'm gonna listen to this again, come up with some clips, but I'm gonna start working on this documentary. So in the meantime, in between time, I'll just continuously upload videos on my channel. But look forward to my first documentary. I'm gonna be releasing it in parts. If you want to watch the full video, you could join my Patreon for $5 a month. Give you access to all of the work that I'll be doing, the full uncut versions. But I'm about to max this MacBook Pro out to its full capabilities and start producing these documentaries. I'm not going to tell you what it's about. I'm going to show you better than I can tell you, but subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell if you haven't already. Share this video if you haven't already. And seduce destiny if you haven't already. I am the Hood Mystic. I'm an author, astrologer, father, retired pimp. Just here to spread the good gospel, God's word. I hope you learned from this. I hope y'all took notes. I've been talking for too long for y'all not to have took some notes. Take some notes, apply this knowledge in your life, get on the path, enjoy the fact that you're on the path, and forget it. But until next time, I will see you guys on the flip side. And yeah, peace.